first tip I'd give when casting a Samson lure over shallow grounds like this is to turn the bail arm over quick, wind up the slack and get in good contact with that lure. All Samson lures are designed to sink and cast distance, but they can easily be kept at the top if you keep the rod tip up and just watch them over the rocks, lifting them up if there's any shallow areas, and let the rod tip drop when you get them in close so you can work that lure again. Okay, for me the most important thing when I'm fishing, and especially for bass, is to really make sure that that lure's got an injured fish effect, so it's looking in trouble, set off those predatory instincts from the fish. So I'm just going to be shaking the rod tip, just little gentle taps really, just varying the speed. You can do that by bringing the rod tip up a little bit. It just gives it a really erratic action, and also gets that lure really wiggling on the top, splashing around, and hopefully if there's any bass around, a hit. So it's just a little one. Little bass there with an Enticer Minnow. So another important factor in the fishing here for me is getting a distance, and I want to get out beyond those waves there, that wave there. And with the Enticer, the way it's weighted, it goes right out there. It's a really good distance, so you can basically cover a lot more ground. I remember fishing here 20 years ago in this spot, and literally casting out at least double what I used to with the sort of swimming lures, hard plastics I used to use back then. And the thing that used to frustrate me the most was, you know, not being able to get as far out as I wanted. And it's very effective keeping them on the top, because when you've got waves, little rocks in front of you here and waves, you can just flip them over and you don't lose the lure. Like, you know, if they're swimming down with a beak, even when you wind them in, they're going to swim down. So you can let these drop down, or you can you can just bring them to the top. The other important thing about the lures is the strength. So we want it not only something that casts far, but something that's strong. So when you're bringing them up over the rocks and you have to bring them, you know, you have to maybe pull them really hard up some rocks, they're certainly not going to break. You know, I've driven cars over them, four-wheel drives, and sometimes I've had my bail arm close. If your bail arm closes and it smashes onto the rock, you'll still be okay. It's obviously not going to break. I have shattered lures like that before. I won't fish much more because bringing them over, it's getting dark now, I'm bringing them over these rocks, you really need to see the lure exactly where it is, so you don't lose it. Keep your eye on it at all times, keep the tension on, and lower your rod tip in those bits, and then pull it through. So because this lure won't dive down when you pull, so you can just lift your rod tip and bring it up. Right, that is the last cast. Yeah, set to get big tomorrow, really big, bit of a storm. Okay, it's about 20 to 9 now. I haven't fished yet, I've been to quite a few places and this has been too big, dirty water everywhere. So I'm over here at the South Coast Beach, and it's much calmer, better water. So yeah, I'd like to have been here earlier, but anyway, see how it goes.
Well, finally got a chance to test out the 15 gram tweak. That's a good thing. I'd rather be up the west coast, but no, I'm not complaining. At least you can fish. And it does look good here. It definitely looks possible. And this lure is ideal for it. It's just very shallow here, and the bass would be right. Could be right in close here. Oh, I know the birds like the look of it. It looks good there. So I'm just tapping the rod tip, little pulls and tweaks, tweak it away from those birds. Looking at these are divers, you have to be careful. But it can be right up into the enclose here, so I'll work it all the way in. Water's not got fantastic clarity today, but it's only small, so it's okay. Yeah, if I'd have known first thing, I'd have come straight here. It would have been great, but you just don't know. You've got to check everywhere out. And if there's any chance, I'll fish on the west coast. Especially when you're in a bit of a current, and there's current there, you can just pause it a second, tap it, you know, a few taps, bring it through, pause it. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do that in really shallow areas, but if it's a metre or so deep, that's no problem. It doesn't sink that quick, especially with some current. It just sort of hovers there, and you can tweak it through where there's rocks around, and hopefully a bass is going to see that. That was amazing. I paused it and then bam, it hit. It's a nice little bass that. So it's on a single hook there. Just going to bring it up. Okay, so yeah, so I was fishing with a 15 gram tweak, giving it the first real test out, and managed to hit this nice bass. Just was tweaking it through over some rocks there, and just paused it for a second, and boom, this bass hit it. Okay, so it's a really good spot. Definitely looks like we have the chance of getting a bass here. I'm just tweaking the little 15 gram through around these rocks here. I can just imagine something coming up to smash it, definitely. So, oh, that's why it's wet here. It's not easy to get knocked off this rock, but it's going to get splashed, that's for sure. Now, right along these edges are going to be really good. I put a camera on because I've got that feeling you get when you're going to hook up, or you've got a really good chance. So put the other camera on and see if I can get a hook up. Because basically got some really strong swell out to the left there, and then it's a little bit protected with these islands in front here, and then you're into the bay, so it's a good spot. One right out ahead, but in this particular spot I don't think I need to cast as far some of the west coast beaches, because I think a lot of the fish is, now I'm on the thumping, it's good to cast down the beach, of course, a long distance, and this one I got out a long way, but only a really small one, and it's actually a Dorado, isn't it? Yeah, this is a Sophia, and that's what I think I had one of them hit it earlier. Okay, this is a little Sophia from the Dorado family. Somehow managed to find the hook. Little single hook at the back. I had one of these hit earlier, I was pretty sure it was, so that was quite a long way out. Another little dorada. I can see this lure being effective for catching a lot more species, you know, smaller ones. So yeah, it's great. Right out there seems to be a lot of dorada around, and they're liking this lure. What surprises me the most, when they've got such tiny mouths on them. Well, hopefully I've got, oh, that's a bass. I think it's the bass anyway. Or is it a dorada? He came up right behind it. What's going to come up behind it is another tortilla dorada. Blimey. Well, the reason they're staying on, I see the way that it hit the lure, it swam behind and followed it and then grabbed it. So if you think with that tiny mouth that it wouldn't be possible, but I suppose they're not hitting them from the side, they're hitting them from behind. Oh, it looks like another one. Yep. This one's tiny. Wow. Okay, it's early morning. I can see a cormorant out there. You need your lure right out here. It's a nice rip going out. At the moment I'm using the Enticer topwater minnow. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. That rocky bit there. Got it over for the minute. It's going that way. It's a decent bass, I think. Over that rock. Just need to keep him this side of this rock here. He gets hit by a wave. Oh, I jumped in after that and got it. He came off the hook. Whew. Don't believe it. He was stunned for a minute. Okay, this is the one that nearly escaped on the Enticer Minnow, 50 grams. Quite some swell, but yeah, tide's pushing up now, and yeah, I'm hoping there'll be more of these pushing up as well. Gotta get it over this. Needs to get it around that rock. There's a strong rip. That's the first cast of the tweak bait. Got to get him inside this rock. Okay, I just put on the 90 gram tweak there because it's spray painted, this one. It's a prototype. So yeah, this one just came straight out from behind a rock and hit it as I was bringing it over. So that was a nice shock. Get it back. That's a good bass. A bit over that way. Drifting that. I think it's decent. It's on the thread. Okay, this bass was just literally hanging by a thread with the lure and I couldn't get him. I nearly lost him. As soon as I grabbed him, the lure came out, so I just put the lure back where it was. It just literally fell out, so I just managed to keep the tension on around the swirling waves. So yeah, really happy to get this one because definitely could have lost him.